Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Wesahana Pearson, recording for Black Asian Magazine. I'm talking to a young woman who's extremely interesting, who's lived in Taiwan for quite a while, and she's going to share her story with us. So, for the site, can you first please tell us your name?
Hi, I'm Tarryn Lua. I'm from Capetown, South Africa, and
Okay.
yeah, I've been.
How long have you lived here in Taiwan?
I lived in Taiwan I have been living in Taiwan for about 6 years now.
Mm-hmm.
I've been living and working here. I'm a teacher.
All right.
I've been teaching for 6 years in Taiwan.
So, how do you like Taiwan? Like, just very briefly in general, what has been your experience living here in Taiwan?
Taiwan's been amazing, honestly. It's super, compared to where I come from, it's super safe. And very progressive, which I really like about Taiwan. People are pretty open and friendly, and just the general feel of being here it's always been very welcoming. So I like that a lot about Taiwan.
All right. Did you come here directly from South Africa when you first moved here?
I did, yeah. I came in 2014. You know, like many people want to travel and see something different outside of what they know, their culture. So that's one of the main reasons why I left.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, that leads me into my next question. The reason you left is maybe to get the kind of experience that you might not necessarily have living at home in Capetown.
Yeah, definitely. I think with anyone who leaves their town, it could be, you know, the international exposure, and just to experience, you know, different culture. I think Asia is pretty different from where I'm from, and it's been very enriching to my life and growth as a young woman in you know, in the world, I guess. Yeah.
Before you came to Taiwan and before you came to Asia, and when you think about then, you think about now, is it what you expected? Or was it totally different from what you could have imagined?
Very different. I think what blew me away the most was how international Taiwan was. I think people also have this idea about Africa, to be honest. You know, Cape Town's super westernized in many ways. It's very up there, and coming to Taiwan and Taipei and
very
seeing
modern.
that let's use the word modern. It's pretty much the same. Although with its eastern flair, you know, like far east flair, and that's something that really, I think that's the one that really stuck out for me. How modern it really is here. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks for sharing that. Moving on a little bit, what other places have you traveled to in your lifetime?
I haven't had major extensive travel experience since I've been here. I've been, you know, to Thailand. I've been to America, but most of my time has been spent in Taiwan for reasons relating to work and just personal growth, studying and things like that. And it's definitely on the cards. I do enjoy traveling a lot.
All right. Can you tell me some major differences that you've noticed between living here, for you've had enough experience with here, and living in the place where you're from?
It's a pretty, I would say, easier city to live in.
Right.
I don't know if that makes sense.
I get you completely. Getting
know what I
around
mean?
from day to day.
Yes.
The pace of life can tend to be not slow, but manageable.
It's manageable, yeah. And getting from A to B, everything's pretty easy, convenient,
transportation,
safe.
Very
one of the
safe.
major things.
Yeah.
That was the other one. Safe. And
money, cost of living is
pretty,
not, especially when you teach English, or even if you don't have a very high paying job, it's still manageable. Easy to deal with.
I've met people who, you know, Taiwanese and just students basically, that have a pretty decent living lifestyle. You can be comfortable enough here, I would say. Things are affordable. Depending on what you do, I would say, in any country, right? I think. But I do think it's pretty convenient, at least.
Okay.
Safe. manageable. Those are the words. Yeah. I moved
Okay.
up to Taipei not too
from-
long ago from
from
Hsinchu. I lived in Hsinchu
Okay, so tell us what that's
for a
like.
long time.
Because Taipei is the capital,
Yes.
but Hsinchu is actually kind of like
Yeah.
about 3 hours.
No.
Okay.
not
Hsinchu's
that
about an
far
hour
away.
and a half.
It's about an hour and a half on a bus ride. But if you take the high-speed rail, which is the fast train, it takes about 20 minutes, 20 to 25 minutes. But on a bus or in a car, it could be about like an hour and 20. Something that Hsinchu is, it's pretty laid back. We're pretty chill there. There's lots of community there, I would say. There are people who've been there for years.
And it makes them more personable, kind of.
Yeah.
Easier to talk to and easier to
There's a lot of South Africans there.
Really?
Too. Yeah, a lot of Africans, South Africans. So the community there is pretty, I would say.
Close-knit.
Close-knit, yeah. You might know people.
So why you moved here? Is it better here in Taipei? We're glad to have you, but like, is it better? Like,
well,
seems like it would have been nicer in Hsinchu.
I do like Hsinchu for its own reasons. Moving out of Hsinchu was just more of a personal growth thing for me. I wanted to expand my work, ideas, meet more different people. It's just not that I wouldn't meet anybody there, but I think there's just more opportunity in the big city, which is Taipei.
Okay. So it was you made a transition in your life that you wanted something different.
It was more of a life transition too. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
A transition I felt I was ready to make. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks for sharing that.
Thank you.
The next question that I normally ask at this point is a question I have to recalibrate or change quite a great deal because you are who you are, and from what you explained to me. You told me quite an interesting story a moment ago. You said you were in school and a certain little kid had a very unusual question for you regarding how you look in connection with your background. What, if you want to say, he asked you, how come you're not black if you're from Africa?
Yeah, so basically it was second grade. It was a few years ago in public school. I did tell the kid, like my kids, I'm from South Africa. They want to know where I'm from. I do look a little different. And I said, yeah, I'm from South Africa. But their first question was like, oh, but if you're from South Africa, why aren't you black? Literally touched my hands. But you're not black, teacher.
How is that? Because this keeps coming up. The touching of the skin to see if it rubs off, the touching of the hair. And it's like, okay, you're in a different country, you should behave yourself, but that's a fighting offense. Where I'm from.
Yeah, you try to be polite about it.
Yeah, but how would...
But it can be like, oh, really?
That's a little bit over the top. And is it acceptable? Is it like you accept it because people don't know any better? Or is it like...
I feel like, when it's a kid that young, that's why I point out, it was a second grade kid. I'm more lenient with kids because I do feel kids learn from other things, especially their parents. And what baffles me the most is if you encounter it from adults. So it's hard for me to feel like, to be like, sometimes I'm in this mode where I'm like, really? Really though? Like, come on. Come on.
Do you express that to people, especially if they're adults? Do you express that to them? Is the kind of thing you just, because living in age as long as I have numerous times, and then you get to understand, like, okay, it's not the kind of, for me, it's like, it's something you should at least say, you should at least address.
I try to be polite about anything that I've done or do with people. Even in the States, I've had someone ask me, where is South Africa? And I said, it's South Africa. But like, where is South Africa?
Don't tell people that. Don't tell anyone that. What's your background?
My background is...
Can you explain that a little bit?
Okay, so my background is, I'm multi-ethnic. I don't have direct mixed lineage, not like my mom's this one and my dad's this. And if you want to be more specific, my dad's black and my mom's white. No, it's more of a big mix. I think of a big mixed bag.
A lot of different things, or a salad, salad with a lot of different kind of
salad, yeah. So Capetown is pretty much that. We have a lot of mixed race people coming from, big backgrounds of a big mix. There has been an occasion where it's like, what is your mix? and I would go into like a little bit of, it's Indian, Portuguese, which is probably the main thing that I am aware of, mixed with other African jumble bag. It's like a surprise bag of, and I do, based of how I look, I do have an ambiguous look. People tend to think I'm pretty Asian looking.
Yeah.
Which I get
you can get Taiwanese.
Honestly.
People think you're Taiwanese, Aboriginal, something like that.
Yes, a lot of the time I've had Aboriginal, Taiwanese, somewhere in Asia, but not quite sure. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but I always try to teach.
Yeah, not becoming upset about it.
Not becoming upset. There's no point.
Get under your skin.
Yeah.
Or letting the child know that this is a problem, or reacting to him in a way that is not positive, it's negative.
I could be passionate about something, but I'm not going to be aggressive about it. That's just me. For that kid, I said, there are black people in Africa, but there are also other people, just like America, or things that they relate to, because they do know more about
America than they do about
anywhere else. So I was like, there's white people, there's black people, there's mixed people, there's a lot of Asians too. What they don't know, and I think that is a teachable moment. I find that those type of moments are teachable moments for me.
Right.
To be like, as a woman, an African woman of mixed race background, to be like, let me teach you about, this is me, there are other people like me in the diaspora of things. And
okay.
Basic.
Thanks for sharing that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Tell me one thing you really enjoy very much about living, working, being in Taiwan.
Well, things like this, opportunity. I think Taiwan can present opportunities for people. I do like I mentioned earlier, that it's liberal. It's a very progressive country. I think they're going in very good direction. Or they're trying to be. It's very safe. What I enjoy here the most is the diversity. As Taiwanese as it is, you do find many different people here.
Pockets, other communities.
Yeah, little communities.
Different things.
It's really enriching in a way, in the sense that you can learn from people. I like to learn. I like to know things, and to speak with people from different backgrounds and places is very enlightening for me. And I don't know if I'm putting in correct words, but
expressing yourself pretty accurately.
All right. It's happening, things are coming up, and I like that. I like that about Taiwan. And Taipei is a little big city. I always think of Taipei as this little big city, because it's a little country, but it's big things are happening.
Looking ahead, looking forward, plans for the future. What projects do you have upcoming? Where do you see yourself going next few months, next few years?
I'm looking to really expand on writing and media.
Okay.
Anything, content creating, anything to get my writing up, honestly. I want something outside of teaching that's more connected to the things that I'm interested in, which is writing and arts. That I'm passionate about. Writing, arts, music, and people's stories. Honestly, I'm very much interested in stories. So writing is where I'm going towards, writing and video creation.
Okay, final thoughts, anything like to share? You just want to give anyone a shout out? Anything you want to say? What's up to my block?
Just want to say, hey, it's me, Tarryn. I think I just want to, part of me being a young, mixed race woman is just also to shout out to young mixed race women, and just women in general, and their opportunities wherever you go, and not to be held back by your race, especially in Asia, where it can feel like, people tend to, I guess, question you. Asking about your race is more of a question of,
are you qualified?
Are you
belong
yeah,
here?
yeah. It's more like,
you have to have your own confidence in order to combat that.
Yeah, for sure. And I just want to say that, if it really comes down to you owning yourself and your color and whatever it is that you stand for, your identity, and just be you. And you will find people that you can connect with abroad. You really do. and there's always opportunity. And I wouldn't like say don't travel anything just because of certain prejudices in places. It's actually it's always a learning opportunity for everyone. So
Very
come
well
through,
said.
right?
Very well said.
Thanks.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Wesahana Pearson, Tarryn Lua, Black Asian Magazine. Thank
up?
you. All right.